Onward, fellow travelers! Onward to BCG Disney Week. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and welcome once again to BCG Disney Week, an entire week dedicated to all things Disney, from top 10 lists to video essays to specialty videos to ranked videos and of course reviews. And speaking of reviews, I present the first review for BCG Disney Week, and that's a review of the latest Pixar film that dropped before the pandemic basically locked us in our houses, and that film is Onward! Onward is set in a fantasy world where magic was once prevalent but has since been replaced by the convenience of modern technology. We then follow elf brothers Ian and Barley, who after receiving a magic wand from their deceased father to use to bring him back for a day, embark on a quest to locate a magic gem and finish the spell to bring their father back. Look, I gotta come clean regarding my initial feelings towards Onward. It's the first Pixar film where, after seeing all of its trailers and promotional material, I just wasn't looking forward to it whatsoever. I wasn't excited to see the film. It just looked unremarkable and uninteresting, and it didn't scream Pixar quality filmmaking to me. In fact, it felt more like something that DreamWorks would have cooked up. I'm not saying that DreamWorks makes bad films, mind you. They have made plenty of good films over the years. But the difference between DreamWorks' mantra when it comes to filmmaking and Pixar's mantra, DreamWorks is all about quantity over quality. Yeah, they shoot out a lot of films, but a majority of them aren't that great. Only a few of them are. Whereas Pixar is the complete opposite. They really prioritize the quality of their films over how many films they release. That's why they only release one film a year. And sometimes they don't even release a film, they just release two films after taking a break for a year, which is what they did with Onward and later on Soul this year. So it kind of broke my heart that after seeing the effort that they put into Onward, I just wasn't looking forward to the film. But I decided, you know what, let me just give it a chance. I mean, after all, it is still Pixar. Pixar still is known for their quality, as stated previously. And it has a fantasy element to it. I love me a good fantasy story. And it stars Spider-Boy and the Lord of Stars. So, who knows? I might be pleasantly surprised by the film. Maybe the destination of the film won't cheer me up or won't excite me, but maybe the journey throughout the film might pique my interest. Let's give it a watch. The best thing Onward has going for it, in fact it was its main selling point, is the relationship between the two brothers Ian and Barley. It was strong, convincing, they worked very well as a duo, complementing each other, and the growth in their bond progressed naturally throughout the film. As someone who has an older brother, I thought they nailed the brother dynamic very well, and they perfectly captured an older brother's determination to support his younger brother and build his confidence. And speaking of that older brother, Barley was in fact the best character in this film. He was exciting, charismatic, memorable, funny, he knew his way around magic, he was very quick on his feet, inventive, and he had some solid serious moments as well. And Chris Pratt gave a fantastic vocal performance as well. Say what you will about the guy, he's overhyped, he's anti-gay, he's not the best Chris in the MCU, but you gotta give it up to him. He plays that charismatic goofball character to a T. He pulls it off. He's basically the Jack Black of this generation. Although Jack Black still leagues better than him. And speaking of insert reference to previous point in order to make a smooth segue into the new point completed, the voice talents did a pretty good job at voicing their characters. Much like how Chris Pratt can pull off the goofy, eccentric character quite well, so too can Tom Holland when it comes to voicing awkward, self-conscious teen characters. So I gotta say, good job casting director. And finally, the animation was pretty serviceable, albeit nothing truly remarkable or great or have anything that really stood out and made me go, wow, that's some fantastic animation like their previous works. You know, if Pixar was a student of mine and they submitted Onward to me for a grade, I would give it like C to C minus. It's still pretty good work, but I can clearly tell that they didn't put as much effort into this project as they did with their previous submissions. And with that said, let's address some of the flaws in this project, shall we? As a whole, Onward is by far the most formulaic and derivative Pixar film I have seen since the first Cars. But even in the first Cars, at least you had a fun, entertaining story with a colorful cast of characters. Onward, by comparison, has a slow and dull story with one good character, one decent character, and a cavalcade of forgettables. Now don't get me wrong, the concept itself is quite intriguing and it showed a lot of potential. It's just that its execution was half-hearted. And going back to that concept, isn't the concept of this film somewhat similar to the concept of The Good Dinosaur? You know, the what if scenario? What if the meteors didn't kill the dinosaurs? What if a fantasy world had modern technology? I mean, seriously, Pixar, is this as far as your imagination can go nowadays? That's kind of sad, bro. For a story that's primarily focused on two brothers going on an adventure, the filmmakers, the storytellers, weren't very adventurous in the storytelling aspect, making the story come off very safe and predictable. Yeah, sure, there are perils in the film, but there was just no tension to those perils. There's nothing in the film that really grips you or has you on the edge of your seat going, oh my god, are they gonna make it through it? And there were so many missed opportunities with the story here. Like when the brothers receive the wand and start to use it, I thought that could have been like a trigger that would awaken the dormant magic that's been lying underneath the earth or something of the sort, or do something a la Force Awakens where there's a shift in the balance or something like that. Just do something with the fact that magic's being reintroduced in the world and is having some sort of impact. Not sure, they bump into the Manticore who goes on a rampage after realizing she's wasting her life, and then the Pixies rediscover their ability to fly, but those were not at the cost of them using magic. It was more like happenstance, like it just kind of happened. It's almost incidental. It had nothing to do with them using magic. It's just that, oh, now this happened, which is a damn shame. The writing is weak, cliche, and surprisingly lacking in wit. If there's one praise, if there's one thing I can say that has been consistent in most of Pixar's films, is actually their sharp wit and humor. And yes, while there are some funny moments in Onward, they're just too few and far between. And the characters don't fare any better. Outside of Barley, everyone else is just dull and unremarkable. I mean, take Ian, the protagonist of the film. Is he a badly written character? I wouldn't say so. In fact, he does go through a significant growth throughout the film. There is a progression with his character, but did he grow on me? No, I really didn't care about him because he's just the cliche, awkward, shy, self-conscious trope that we have seen in plenty of teen films. I've just become numb to that character, and he just wasn't really all that engaging. The Manticore was such a disappointment, especially because I love Octavia Spencer. I loved that she was finally in a Pixar film, and I wanted to see what this character was going to do. And I get it, she's been out of the game for many years, so she's not her full Manticore self. But even the scenes that we get, she's just really annoying for no good reason. I don't know why they chose to make her the annoying character. I preferred the mom to be the annoying character. And speaking of the mom, I feel like she's just a throwaway character. She didn't really offer much of the film, and she didn't really get to participate. In fact, most of the side quest, or at least the subplot following the mother and the Manticore, they're really forgettable scenes that I just didn't care about, and I felt like it really slowed the pacing down. It made the movie feel longer than it needed to be. Although I will say, Mom did have one of my favorite lines in the film.
I am a mighty warrior.
And finally, the action. Boring. There's only 2 action scenes in the entire film, both of which were not intense. I really didn't care what was happening. The final battle, yeah, there was some spectacle to it, but again, I just didn't really care for this action. It didn't engage me. I didn't find it thrilling, exciting, cool, awesome. I mean, you're in a fantasy world. There's this gigantic thing that you need to fight, and this is what you do? Okay, sorry, I don't care. To sum it all up, while Onward did not disappoint me, it did fail to capture my imagination, to pull me into its world, to make me actually care about the journey that's happening on screen. Sure, there are some decent things to say about Onward, but as a whole, it's just an easily forgettable film. But as you all know good and well by now, I'm not the end-all be-all opinion when it comes to Onward. I'm sure plenty of you have your own thoughts and opinions about the film, and I would very much love for you to share it in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you find it as mediocre as I did? And let me know, what is your favorite animated fantasy film? Comment below, let me know, and stay tuned. More BCG Disney Week videos are on their way. I have a good feeling about this BCG Disney Week. This might actually be a return to form for the BCG Disney Week. Let's hope I didn't jinx it. But until the next video comes, guys, if you'd like to see more videos on this channel, be a part of the Black Critic crew, why don't you hit that subscribe button down below? Hit that bell notification next to it as well so you're alerted whenever I upload one of these babies. And as always, share the video, like the video, let more people know that BCG Disney Week is happening. It's actually happening. It's a real thing. This is not a mirage. This is real. It's happening. And as always, I'm Tony Watley II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.